And the young man who is renting the house, Mike, said to me, you love to talk to the landlady. I said, where is she? He said, in Holland. I said, let me talk to her. As I spoke to her, I said, madam, I'm your pastor. I came to rent your house. How much will you give me? Privilege to talk to my landlady. He said, Mike, collect 130,000 from him. Sir, that's what you are going to be paying for the next 3 years. And that was it. Take the rest money, pack your things and come and live. I would like a pastor to live in that house. If man stop believing God when he speaks, God will stop speaking to the man. Your access to prophecy is because you believe. And you don't end in believing. You take steps, you obey. Your steps are signs of your faith. That was it. Where is West Road? When we entered here, stop at Jephthah, follow this road, enter here. We are, by the time the agent shows us, the beacon of this particular land is in that place. They built kiosk. That particular kiosk, that's where my beacon is. This main road is my land. I was just here at the beacon there, and the Lord said, this is the place. And I announced to everybody, this is the place. People got angry. We can't be in this jungle. How can God will not show you? It's you that God just spoke to. He spoke to you now, nonsense. And dog, that's one dog that was the man that contested for Delta governorship election that time, driving V-boot, that followed us in that journey. And he had his money to pay for the land in his boot. He just left and tell me nonsense. I can't bring my friends in this place. I was there, he drove and left. And I announced to them, I said, any of you that want to see God should follow him. But for me, I'm coming to the jungle. As I get back to the house, he said, the land where you have gone to see shall be called Heziba. The thing echo, whoa, 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 Heziba, ba, ba, ba. I jump up. I said, Heziba land is a land we went to go and see. Look, prophecy makes you excited. Makes you what? Where you have access to hearing God, you won't lost. You won't lost in life. You won't lost in destiny. You won't be misled. So I am not here because I like the land. I love here because God said this is the place. He said to me, when you want to build your own house, you use your hand and choose the place. But when I want to build my own, I decide where I built it. And we stayed in the jungle. I know the most wonderful things. That our faith didn't fail. We packed to this place and we begin to have notable men coming to church. To prove to us, because we moved from Rumola to this place, to prove to us that the God of the whole earth. People we are coming to church from Obibo. People we are coming to church from Abajo. People we are coming to church from Eleme. If we packed to this place and people that drive cars start coming to church, at least we are part of them. In the place of prophecy, your faith is your checkbook. Your faith is what? It's your checkbook that you use to withdraw the promises. Refuse to believe what God said, you remain. He that believeth is not condemned, and he that believeth not is condemned. So when you doubt prophecy, you remain limited. When you believe prophecy, you break limits. One of the reasons why most of us are still limited where we are is that you never believe what God said for you can never believe what God is saying. It doesn't matter who is saying it. Immediately you leave the church, you start considering it, start doubting it, start disbelieving it. You start using your experience to water it until it does not have potential again. And then the prophecy will just fizzle out. The last person that will doubt God is me. For what? Is he faking me? He had capacity to do everything. The one that built a house and built the whole skyscraper with that pillar, what else can he not do? You know how far the firmament is from the earth, and there is no pillar one day. At least I've been able to fly and be able to fly and go out and come in. I've been able to watch. Let me see if there's any pillar somewhere holding the earth, holding the firmament. No pillar anywhere. Even though when you fly 60,000 above the sea level, you are seeing no pillar. Everything hang, suspended. So the higher you go, the more suspended it becomes. Then when the plane begin to land, they begin to see that you are coming from a far place. Whatever that have destroyed your faith, today, build it back in the name of Jesus. What do you reinforce when it comes to prophecies and faith? Very quickly. What do you reinforce? Number one, you reinforce your hope. Hebrews chapter 11 verse 1. You reinforce your hope. Your hope. The fundamental fact of existence is that this trust in God, this faith, it is the firm foundation under everything that makes life worth living. Wow. It is our handle on what we can see. It's our handle on what we can't see. Our handle. For by this, okay, now faith is the substance of things hoped for. Somebody say hope for. The evidence of things not seen. Hope and faith are husband and wife. If hope is there, faith is impotent. Hope simply means sustaining your existence. Sustaining your existence by your imagination. What gives an unbeliever is hope? And what gives you coming to church is not faith, is hope. Because some days you wake up, out of the challenges of life, your faith has gone. But you still stagger and move and take your bed. If you didn't come, you come very late. That's not how I cannot go and worship my God, whether things are working or not working. It's not faith, it's hope. What is pushing you is hope. You have this assurance that even though things are not working, things will be well someday. Because hope works with your imagination, making you to believe that things will be fine what? One day. I will show you an example of a man. John chapter 5. There's a man, they call the man in the pool of Bethesda. The story of that man, each time I read it, I will ask myself, what a man. John chapter 5 from verse number 1. Can you give me from number 3? From number 3. He said, in this lay a great multitude of impotent folks, or blind, hearted, withered, waiting for the movement of the water. Verse 4. For an angel went certain time, went down at a certain season into the pool and troubled the water. And whosoever then first, after the troubling of the water, stepped in, was made whole of whatsoever disease he had. In that place where they are, when the water troubled, anyone that jump in, it doesn't matter what problem he carry, is made whole. But look at the case of that man. Verse 5. Verse 5. And a certain man was there which had an infirmity 38 years. In other words, the man was there for how many years? How many years? What kept him 38 years? Is he faith? What kept that man for 38 years? The children he had when they were born had become adult and he was still there. Hope. Hope is a supernatural force that helps you not to give up, even when everything has failed. A supernatural force that helps you not to give up, even when everything have done what? Fail. Now look at the story of that man, verse 6. When Jesus saw him lie and knew that that man had been a long time in that case. Have you what? That man waiting there, senior Jesus. He had been in that pool before Jesus was born. Jesus met him, knowing that man had been there for what? For a long time in that case. And he said unto him, will thou be made whole? One that have faith will answer straight. Look at his answer. Verse 7. When I don't have this night, it's time. The impotent man answered him, sir, I have no man. I have no man. When the water is troubled, to put me into the pool. But why I am going, another does what? Step down before me. So he has witnessed first time for a very long time, and he wasn't first. He have seen those he first came to church driving car, yet he couldn't buy one. He have witnessed those that he followed and married, delivered children, yet he have not yet conceived. He have witnessed a lot of miracle testimonies, yet no one has happened to him. But he was still there. The question is, what is keeping him there? Somebody say hope. Hope said one day it go better. One day it go do what? Hope does not know the day, but you believe one day it go do what? It go better. So when you talk somebody that have hope, he say leave that thing. Whether God want visit me or not, I don't make up my mind. I don't do what? Now hope. Now hope make up mind. So in prophecy, you must reinforce your hope. You must do what? That the one that said he will do it have the capacity to do what? To do it. The Bible said Abraham in the book of Romans chapter 4 verse 17, against hope, believe in hope. Against what? against hope. Believe it. Against hope. As it is written, I made you a father of many nations. Before whom he believed, even God who quickened the dead and calleth those things which are not as though they were. Verse 18. Who against hope believe what? In hope. That he might become the father of many nations. According to that which was spoken, so shall thy seed be. Against hope means that everything about him physiologically have failed, medically have failed, scientists have failed, but he still have hope that the one that said, I will make you a father of many nations, cannot just say it and will not do it. God is not a liar. Touch your neighbor, God is not a liar. Against all odds, still believe that you will have your children, that you will get married, that you will prosper, that you will build your dream house, that you are going to become that prophecy that God has said. I don't care when he said it. He's committed to it if you are committed to it. What do you reinforce? Number 2. Hi. Time is my enemy here. Your knowledge. Your knowledge. Romans chapter 10 verse 17. It's a faith coming by hearing. Faith coming by what? By hearing, and hearing by the word of God. How far do you know God? Determining how faith you will operate. I can talk about Jesus and talk about him from here to tomorrow without holding Bible, because I have so much knowledge about him. By the reason of encounter, I've encountered him to a point that my faith and my following him is not based on material acquisition or what he has done to me, but the knowledge I have heard, I have known about him. What you hear, what you know, builds your faith. Everyone in the Bible has a name they call God. How many of you know that? According to their knowledge, they encountered him. Abraham knew him as Jehovah Jireh, because he have thought he would not come back with Isaac, but by faith he believed that Isaac will come back from him. And then he saw a ram in a mountain, and had never seen that ram since that day till today. The knowledge of God, what do I say? The encounters you have in his word, in your following. I've come to a point where I know God to a point that the little I know him now. That's if you put knife on my neck and say, deny Jesus, I better kill me. You make my journey easy. You make it what? You make my journey very easy. I just took off. Because I'm aware the only thing you can shoot as a gun is the flesh. And whether that time or not, the flesh must also be gone one day. The spirit is what you cannot kill. I've known him. So how far do you know him? Daniel chapter 11 verse 32. He said, they that do know, they that have knowledge, they that do know. He said, and such as do wickedness against the covenant, shall he corrupt by what? By flattering. But the people that do know their God shall be strong. Because knowledge brings you into a place where you personify God as your God. The level of revelation you have about Christ is what makes you say, Jesus is my Lord. Those that do know their God, he said they shall be strong. The word strong there means very unstoppable. They shall be confident, because knowledge builds up what I call strength. Knowledge builds strength. Ignorant is a disease. Knowledge makes you a dominator. Whatever you know, you master. Whatever you don't know masters you. Your knowledge about Christ, about God, is one of the force that makes prophecy stronger. Is somebody hearing what I'm saying? When my little son said that centipede run inside his ear, and suddenly he's trying to behave like a madman now, I needed knowledge to know whether can centipede pass through the ear and enter the brain. And I took him, we get to the doctor. I said, please, talk to me. This guy said this thing happened. Centipede enter his ear and the brain is moving in his brain and is biting him. I said, is there any gap between the ear and the brain? Any hole? Is there no hole? Whatever that enter the ear must come out from the mouth or from the nose. I said, case closed. Now come, let's go and roast it. Let's go and do what? Let's go and roast it. That simple knowledge confirms to me this is spiritual work. Oh yeah, let's get out of this place. No need to can walk here. And when we walk to this place, I told him, I said, I will lay hand on your head and cause the centipede and it will roast. You will feel the burning on your head. After that, you go and lie down at the altar. Let the ancient God of Hezibana put his hand on you and say, boy, have fun now. And the whole thing is over. I say yes. As I put her, pop, pop, come on, roast. She said, fire. After some seconds, we are talking when Pastor Harry walked in. I said, lay hand on